Alright, hello everyone. So this video is going to be about the 26 patch notes. So I was waiting a little bit longer just to see if any Zwei Ishmael teaser would drop, but unfortunately we're not getting our Zwei Ishmael. I'm currently waiting for Zwei Ishmael to drop before I do any other major videos, just because I don't want to redo the video, because once I make it and then Zwei comes out and she actually supports something, I will have to go and remake the entire thing. So yeah, I'm gonna wait until Zwei drops, and then after that there should be no other IDs for the entire of Heathcliff season, and then we can go into Dawn season, and there will be a whole bunch of different shit to go and talk about. So yeah, I'm waiting for Zwei Ishmael before I make anything else, so now let's get back to the patch notes. So this patch note is highly focused on this new event to target the new returning players from the new and returning players from Walpurgis Night. In Walpurgis Night, we hit like 48,000 players, so a lot of them are new and returning, so they're trying to target them and make them stick around with this event here. We are also getting some additional lore stuff from the September 26 patch, so lore nerds can rejoice. And then after that, we're getting a bunch of UI stuff. Getting the retreat symbol for Deviat Rodion, getting a separation of the threads that you can get from the Luxcavation. This one is the skip thread, and this one is the thread that you get from the first time daily bonus. Yeah, the daily bonus for thread. And this part here is going to be the new UI for this new Universal Season 4 shard here that is only going to be available for Season 4 players. Maybe they'll make it accessible to us eventually, but right now it's only for returning players pretty much. How this works is that since you need to pay shards in order to uptie a character, they're giving you this Universal Season 4 shard to let you uptie any Season 4 units, and you can use this shard instead of the actual character's shards. So for example, we can remove 25 here and then put 25 here for this Rodion ID if you want to uptie her to number 4. The next one to talk about is the bug fix. Ego Lantern Dawn is going to get her skill tree reuse bug fixed. I'm guessing this also applies to Deviat, because Deviat can also reuse her skill tree coin quite a lot, and this bug here is ridiculous and not allowed, so definitely getting fixed. And then the next one is that the Mirror Dungeon, the replacing skill thing, is going to get fixed as well. So that means that after 26 patch, we will be able to replace our skills and do our funny 3 skill tree shenanigans again. So yeah, this stuff here are the two bugs that I was expecting to be fixed with this patch, and I was expecting some additional lunacy, but unfortunately we are only getting 300 lunacy, and there really isn't anything else here to talk about besides that. Okay, so this patch essentially just UI changes. The main thing about this patch notes is just this new user and returning user event. So let's talk about the new user event first. In summary, this is a permanent event from now on. So this is to help any new players from the 26 onwards to catch back up. As long as your account is a 1 month old account since the date of creation, you will be able to be considered a new player, and you will get a login reward for 14 days. And as long as you are able to join after 26, you will be able to get this additional reward. I'm guessing that if you started in Walpurgis and you wait until this patch, you will just nice be around 30 days ish, so you will be able to benefit from this thing over here. So the 14 days login reward, it will give you a season 1 identity ticket selector, a season 1 battle pass ego selector, as well as a takeoff module, which will let you uptie a character to uptie 4. And I really went to double check what are the season 1 IDs and egos that are highly recommended for a new player. For new players, you definitely want someone who is just very high damage output, as well as very good clashing power. Because in this game, as long as you win, you win. I don't know how else to explain this game, but essentially you don't need tanks, you don't need healers. You just need people who can win fights and do damage, because the faster they die, the less damage you take and all the other shenanigans. So yeah, the best 2 IDs in Season 1 are going to be the One Who Shall Grip Sinclair, as well as Ting Tang Hong Lu. Both of them are very strong damage dealers, with I think Ninclair usually beating out Hong Lu when it comes to boss fighting in particular, because this character does a fixed amount of damage every single time to any enemy. There's no conditions to this character's damage. But Hong Lu, he does more damage when the enemy is lower HP, but the clash power is very good no matter what. So that means that even though both of them can win clashes really easily, It's just that Linclair's damage is fixed. Whether it be a squishy minion or a tanky boss, it's just going to do the same amount of damage. And for Ting Tang, he specifically deals with minions better because they are very fast to die, and he will get additional bonuses when they are lower HP or when he kills people. So this is specifically for cleaning up and farming. He can go very, very fast. This character here is just fixed amount of damage and it's a lot of damage no matter what. So in my opinion, you use your ticket on Sinclair no matter what, and then you use Hong Lu if you already have Sinclair. Yeah. If you want to use your ticket for anyone else, you can feel free to use maybe like Grippy Faust or Chef Ryoshu, because those two are honestly some solid clashes with some solid damage output as well. For Grippy, it's because she has a dodge skill and a skill 2. That's the main two good clashing abilities. And also for her skill 2, she gets to apply a debuff to increase the damage output of your team. And for Ryoshu, she just has a very strong skill 3 to DPS bosses, because she scales off missing health. So when bosses get damaged, they have a shit ton of missing health. She gets a lot of extra damage on her skill 3. Her skill 2 is just a decent clasher, and her skill 1 and evasion skill here are not... well, the skill 1 is not that good, but the evasion skill is quite a decent clasher. So if your skill 1's losing, you just use your evasion skill. Otherwise, the skill 1 is mainly for one-sided attacking. If you're new and you don't understand what that means, then, well, just go and get this one and this one. Don't talk about this one anymore. Because these two characters here, you just press win rate and they will win. So that is what I recommend for new players. Next is the Ego. So I mentioned before that in this game, right, we don't have healers, we don't really have tanks. Okay, we technically do, but you don't need them to win. So what you want as a new player here is something that lets you use a bunch of DPSs but also give you some sustain, and I think that that's going to be Fluid Sac Faust. I think that this is the most important ego for any new player to pick up, just because it makes life comfortable. Your life becomes super comfortable with the existence of this ego, because this ego on use, it has no conditions except hitting. If you hit the enemy, you will heal 15 sanity for all allies, which is very good. All allies includes yourself, which means that when you pay 20 sanity, you gain back 15 sanity here. And also you heal all allies for 15% max HP. I know I said that you don't need healers to win the game, but when you are very new, you don't usually go a run without taking some sort of chip damage or taking some tremendously bad damage where your character is now on 10 HP and you're like, holy shit, how do I even win this anymore? Well, Fluid Sac has the heal as well as protection to your ally with the least HP, so that they are less likely to die the next time that they lose. And if you're new, you're probably not like leveling everyone up to appropriate level where they are able to clash and stuff. So it is nice to have a safety net, and this Fluid Sac here is a very nice safety net. At uptime 4, uptime 3 you don't have the third line, but at uptime 4 you get the third line where you heal 10 SP for all allies on hit. That means that when you heal 15 SP, you also heal an additional 10 if you roll this as a hit coin. And what happens is that you will heal 25 sanity and you will get additional 5 sanity here. You do not need to understand the hit coin rolling shit yet. All you need to know is that if you see this thing become light up, it becomes a light up color, then this will all trigger, and what happens is that you will now gain 5 extra sanity even though you paid 20 sanity. So it is really very solid for Mirror Dungeon, where you can ego spam like crazy with this ego, or you go into any other content and this is your clutch button. Oh shit, we're in trouble, let's activate Fluid Sac Force a few times until I am in a more stable condition, then I go and win the game. So that's why I think that this ego is very important for new players. You don't understand the game yet, so you might make some mistakes and get some extra damage taken. Fluid Sac Faust is the core ego. Every new player should take this just until you are off the training wheels, where you can go a single run without taking a single hit on your characters. This is when you can actually consider dropping this for other things. And if you really just want to get some damage egos, there are some really good ones as well. Like 4th Match Flame is a triple AoE, rolls up to 36, very good. Rhyme Shank, the sinking ego. This ego here pretty much is a 30 roll. I know it says 20 plus 15 here, ignore that. But this is a 30 roll, and it does additional damage when enemy is more HP. There's a bunch of sinking count. It's the core for all sinking teams. Until just recently, I think it's not so core anymore, but still really strong. And then Ebony Stem also is a 7 AoE ego, and 7 AoE in this game is quite a luxury to get, and you need to pay quite a lot of resources for it, but it does a lot of damage output, which is why it's also a very strong ego. So if you want my rating, it'll be like Fluid Sac Faust for the new player 100%, And then after that, maybe Ebony Stem if you want to farm shit really fast, because 7 AoE lets you speedrun a lot of content. But if you want a really high clashing ego, it's going to be 4th Match Flame with the 36 on the roll, and then Rhyme Shank for the 30 but still respectable triple AoE, damage boosted, and sinking application. It's just a very solid overall ego. Season 1 has a lot of winning egos, but I think Fluid Sight is the best one for a new player. Alright. So that's going to be the new player guide to Season 1 selector tickets. That's pretty much all you need. Everything else is just up to you already. Okay, so returning user event, for this one, you need to make sure that you have not logged in the last 60 days at least, and you need to have at least cleared main story 1-11. If you have done this, you are considered a returning player, and this event is limited unlike the new player event. This new player event is accessible after 26 forever, but this one is only until 31st October. And when you go in, you also get a login reward, but you also get a bunch of stuff. So let's talk about that bunch of stuff. What happens is that you as a returning user will get a bunch of workplace readjustment assistant resources which are not explained here. So I'm guessing that they will give you a bunch of level up resources and a bunch of uptime resources so that you can build your units when you came back. And you also get a login event. You get up to 14 days of cumulative login, and you get a assured extraction 3-star ticket, which means that you get a guaranteed 3-star identity ticket after 7 days. This is okay. Since the pool, right, is not really fixed or stuck in like a season where the IDs are really good, you have a chance of hitting every single ID in the game, and some of them are not that great for general use, so this is kind of alright. Either you hit gold or you hit shit, or you hit average. That's pretty much what this ticket means. Alright, but the big thing here is that the returning user missions, it gives you a free uptime 4. That's a very nice thing to have. But also gives you the universal shard mechanic here. This one you need to take particular care of because you can choose when to claim this. So these Season 4 shards, right, they are, from this example here, meant for Season 4 units. So if you are not planning to get any Season 4 units, you actually don't need the shards then. And if you take the shards now, these count as Season 4 currency, which means that if you go into Season 5, they will become halved. And if you don't want them to be halved, you can actually wait until Season 5 and then claim them, and then they won't be halved. They specifically mentioned this, so you need to take particular care here. If you have no immediate need for any Season 4 characters, and you are considered a returning player, then you can feel free to just wait until Season 5 if you have no great need for Season 4 units, and then just claim it as a Season 5 shard, and then you get to uptie all the Season 5 characters with these shards. So yeah, this is the only thing to note if you are a returning player and you want to kind of min-max your Season 4 shard stuff. Alright, other than that, for returning users, you also get the EXP and Thread excavations, so you get additional daily bonuses, as well as returning user pack. This one I highly recommend not buying, because this game you just kind of do your dailies and you eventually get enough resources for everything, so there's no real big need to get these unless you legit want to just pay to kind of progress a bit faster. That one's up to you already. Alright, so that is pretty much the entirety of this patch. Is mainly a patch that's targeted towards the new and the returning player. The new player, I already told you what's the best Season 1 IDs and battle passes to go and get, so just go and get those. For the returning player, well, I hope you stick around with all these extra resources. You can build a bunch of teams with that, and you probably still have a lot of stuff to go and collect, and Limbus Company is quite a free-to-play game anyway, so you will be able to collect everything in this game. For the existing players, unfortunately, we did not get additional lunacy, so yeah, that kind of sucks. And yeah, unfortunately, I mean, whatever. We win some, we lose some. Sometimes we hit 1300 lunacy, sometimes we hit no lunacy. I mean, so be it lah. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this patch notes here. Feels a bit bad for the lunacy, but it's all good. Waiting for the Zwei Ishmael, and then after that I'll make the rest of my videos. If you have any other questions, feel free to just comment down below, and then I'll go and take a look at them, or some other commentator will just go and look at them. But yeah, shall see you guys in the next video now. Bye bye.